Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Thank you guys for kicking off another week with me here on 412 Productions. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday weekend. It is good to be back in the chair doing the broadcast with you all. Wherever you're watching, jump into chat, say hello. Let me know who's out there. We'll give you guys some shout outs and officially get this thing going in about 5 minutes. I see Lighter Souls, Silebor, Qoys, Bocephus, and Lucy Anders all over on D Live. What's up, guys? Good to see you all out there today. Shout out to our friends on Rumble as well. I see Liberty's Great Awakening over there. Joe Elaine keeping things nice and comfy. Hit that thumbs up button for us. And yeah, happy birthday to Joe Elaine, our wonderful mod. Celebrated a birthday yesterday on Sunday, on Easter Sunday. So if you didn't already wish Joe Elaine some birthday love, make sure you guys all do that. Amy One Freedom Lover, good to see you over on Rumble as well. Let's see who's all hanging out with us in the comfy bunker today, kicking off the week. Jump on in the chat and say hello if you're hanging out on pill.net. Floyd, due diligence in there first. Delia right behind. We got Lightsphere Lance out there as well. There's Joe, of course, modding the bunker. Again, thank you, Joe, and happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. HL Paco, good to see you. D. Richard in the house as well. Welcome, Patriot 714. Good to see you out there. Floyd breaking the cookie, the gold pill seal with a cookie. It's a Margarita Monday cookie. I go for margarita right about now. R. Harrell in the house. What's up, R. Harrell? And I see Space Cookie out there. Truth Teller 101, Tweety 52. Good to see you all. What's up, General Buford? And there is Esther G13 popping into the chat. Good to have you back in action, Esther. We missed you. Barb Robbins. What's up, Barb? Good to see Pip's mom checking in from Wales, UK. Shout out to all of our Patriots abroad. Roy Stones and Bones over on the West Coast. What's up, Roy? We've got Cali Patriot 14 also in that neck of the woods. Snow Bunny 68. Great to see you out there. We got Trump Red Pill 1 Fazic. What's up, guys? Ken Chris chilling today. What's up, Ken Chris? Good to see you. Strange Paranormal popping in. Good to see you, Strange Paranormal. Hope you enjoy the show. Let's see. Wood Geek, Cynthia, great to see you guys. Mad Joker, great to see you as well. Esther G13 says, hope you're feeling better. Adel hugs. I am. And this weekend was kind of rough, man. I have every intention in the world of doing a Saturday morning chat. I didn't go out on Friday night. I didn't stay up late. I didn't have even a sip of alcohol. And I don't know if it all kind of caught up to me or what, but I slept through 2 alarms. I woke up right at 10 a.m. with an absolutely like pounding headache. And I just went right back to bed. I don't think I got out of bed till almost 1 o'clock on Saturday. And I didn't feel much better Sunday morning either. It was just a weird weekend, but I feel good today. So I'm hoping that that's the last of that. Glass Wanda, what's going on? Dangleberry, good to see you. Eagle Freedom, Running Patriot, Range Pony, Shane RQ, Derp, good to see you out there as well. Let's see. Who am I missing? The First Branch hanging out with us. Awake Russell, Jeff Den checking in from north of the border. Good to see you, Jeff. We got Boys Blanc hooking us up with a cookie. Thank you, Boys Blanc. Great to see you. Jay Brewski's in the house. Vanita 71. Good work, gal out there. Good to see you. Kimha, Curious One, Jenny, Lyle. Welcome and good to see both of you. Hope you're having an awesome weekend, you guys. Laura Y repping the 412. Let's go, Laura. Idaho Patriot 89, CK Whitehorse 180, Basis Las Vegas in the house. Good to see you. Nezercat checking in from Wyoming. We got Joshua Tree 321 out there. Welcome. Did I see the movement ad I sent to you on X? Yes. I'm definitely gonna try to make it there. I'm planning out my summer events. There's a lot of stuff I want to go do. There's a lot of things happening. So we'll see what works out. But yeah, that show sounds awesome. I think it's what them and the Dirty Heads and a few other awesome bands. That's gonna be a good one. Loki 2517. Good to see a Nancy Salty Beaver out there as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Looney Tune 17. Good to see you out there. All right. Well, I've hit the bottom of chat. KCE Metro Center of the US here. Cool. Well, good. It's good to have you aboard. Strange Paranormal. We got Sheriff Hector out there. Spicoli checking in as well. And yeah, I'm at the bottom of my chat. So I'm going to start the show. We'll be back in a few minutes, guys.
We will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Y'all for tuning in, Patriots United, doing what we gotta do to win. Be addicted to MS7, now we're moving in. And once we take over, we won't ever move again. Where we go on, we go all. I say it with pride. No, we won't run, we won't fall. We're right by your side. The demons have taken hold, but none of us will abide. Stand strong, stand bold, that's how we'll survive. 412 is the production. Monday through Friday, deplorable discussions. We're making it hard for the deep state to function. Every time they switch up the narrative, we debunk it. Adol Nero is the power that's controlling the plight. With all you patriots behind them, cause we're all in this fight. So many rhyme for so long, but we're giving them sight. Trapped in the world of darkness, but we're bringing them light. You may even find yourself in a different life. A lot of us have, and honestly, that's perfectly fine. Because exactly where you are at this moment in life is where you're supposed to be at this moment in time. It's all by design, the patriots are holding the line. They must have lost theirs, thinking they're controlling our minds. So many trapped in mental prisons don't know they're confined. They're just slaves in the system till the roles are assigned. That's sad, the good news is that we're waking them up. They have monopolies on minds, but we're breaking them up. Everything you thought was news, they were making it up. When we ascend, all the tyrants won't be making the cut. Let them all burn in the hellscape they create. We the people already mapped out our escape. We hold each other by the hand as we all elevate and go to a different place. They can never get chased. When I look into the future, I can see that it's bright. When this history is written, they will see that we're right. We formed our own community and the circle is tight, but I expand the circle with every word that I write. The pen is sharper than the sword when you wield it with might. Why do you think they try to kick us off all the sights? These people hate America and punish us out of spite. We are the beacons of hope in the darkness of night. So let's go, strap in, yeah, get ready for the ride. Watch the water, we're witnessing the turning of the tide. Feel the passion and the fire that you got burning inside. Take the narrative they're feeding you and turn it to the side. We're alerted to the lies, replacing with the truth. We know the plan they devised, they're invading the youth. Now we're only sending vibes, just start lacing our boots. These demons all weaponized. Now we're raising our troops, now we're raising the roof and sounding the alarm. Remember that it's always darkest before the dawn. Life is a game of chess, they want to use you as a pawn. You're only useful until you're not useful, then you're gone. But not us, we're on the right team where we belong. Everybody is invited, so come follow along. We refuse to say things are right, knowing they're wrong. Adol Nero, take the mic and take flight to the song.
And now, straight from the Steel City, it's your host, 412 Adol Nero.
All right, kicking off the month of April. Welcome, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us today on this Monday, April 1st, 2024, for another installment of Deplorable Discussions. My name is Adol Nero. I've got my OG Tennessee homesteader riding shotgun with me today. TN, happy Monday, buddy. I hope you had an awesome Easter weekend.
Yeah, it was good. As I was saying, we had really good services, entertaining services. The preacher was on a roll, cutting, even telling a fart joke. Believe it or not. Yeah. So I wish I could remember it. It was funny though. Then Nothing else. So Juanita Broderick put out the story today that Joe Biden agreed to take a cognitive test and said he would resign if he didn't pass it.
Yeah, no, that wasn't an April Fool's joke at all.
Yeah, exactly. Not at all. uh, hey,
Well,
happy belated transgender visibility day.
yeah, what what the fuck is that all about? I
Oh
mean,
man.
so all right. To be fair, March 31st, I believe they've been doing this for a while now, or at
Yes.
least. So it's not like they picked Easter,
But you're missing the point here.
but I will say I feel like you're it's a huge insult to Christians, Catholics, to still observe that, like have it a day earlier, a day late, suspend it a week, like make it a week early, like to put something so antithetical to Christianity and the beliefs of most Christians and Catholics on that day, regardless of whether that's when it fell the last few years or not, is such a insult and such a slap in the face. I feel like
It's a
it was
bigger insult than you think.
okay.
Okay, so it's been going on since 2009. That was the first day that they held it on March 31st. You are correct that this cycle it falls Easter falls on that date. But he issued the proclamation on Good Friday.
Uh
So that was planned.
yeah, I mean, I have no doubt or misconception in my head how this administration, how the establishment in itself um feels about Christianity. So I do agree that everything they've done is incredibly offensive to Christians,
Oh,
even though
totally.
I'm not necessarily a Christian myself. Um, but yeah, it's pretty.
Well, it was obvious when they issued it on Good Friday.
Yeah,
Um, it was also there's also some very interesting dynamics about Good Friday, but it was purposely done because they knew that this thing was coming for the last 25 years. So why wait until, in essence, if you're going to do a proclamation, right, and you want to give a heads up and whatever, for whatever reason, you don't do it 2 days before, and then you had Holcomb from New York and order that all the buildings and all the major landmarks be lit up with the gay flag colors. Then you have Becerra coming out and making a big deal about it. So it's like, no, this was all coordinated specifically to piss off Christians. Now, here's the interesting thing: is that this is election year, right?
hmm
Why do you do this, pissing off 85% of the country? Because 85% of the country is Christian on election year. It doesn't make sense at all. So it's either you're completely oblivious, which his people did it, he didn't do it, or you're trying to piss off Christians.
yeah,
To
I feel like
specifically piss them off, not necessarily from an election perspective, because that's counter
I
the
look
thing.
at it. I look at it, Tien, the same way. I look at the reaction from the what do you call it, the State of the Union address, where Biden brought up Lincoln Riley and talked about how she was killed by a illegal alien, right? And then went on like a week long apology tour and like a lot
Right.
of over the using illegal alien, which I feel like probably did not play well to 75% of the country. Probably thought that that was a really bad look, that he's more worried about insulting the killer than actually talking about what happened. I look at this the same way. Like they know it's not popular. They know but they're so desperate to keep the far left together at this point, and that's like they can't help but just continue to cater only to the most extreme and far left part of
But
their
they're not
base.
the ones that vote. So if
I
he's looking to stay
I'm
in
not saying
office,
it's smart. I'm not saying it's smart. I'm saying I feel like there's some kind of like self-defeating, altruistic suicidal mindset with these people where they're so dug in on the way they go about things and think that they don't
Yeah,
even
they're trying to go after that coveted 0.00001% of voters and while pissing off everyone else.
yeah.
You're right. The strategy doesn't make sense.
I feel like they're so incapable of admitting when they're wrong or backing off of anything. Like they don't have it in them to do it. Like there's some kind of egotistical whatever like that prevents them from even like thinking about the strategy of it all. Like they're dug in as allies to this Marxist trans agenda that to even delay their day of recognition, to avoid Easter Sunday or not make the announcement on Good Friday. Like they're incapable of backing down. There's something that stops them from approaching it from a pragmatic standpoint. It's almost like a beating of their chest. We're going to do and say what we want. We don't care about any of that. We don't need you. We don't need your vote. We don't. I don't know, but I feel like we've seen this before. This exact same kind of mindset where they seem to throw optics, caution, and all of that to the wind, and just continue to be incredibly obnoxious in what they're doing. So
That's possible. I'm looking at it and they're trying to poke people to react violently. Now, Christians typically won't, but which one's the straw that broke the camel, right? Because you got the immigration stuff, you have all these other things, and now the media is pushing out how bad the economy is, and how he's 27 points underwater on that subject. He's 40 points underwater on the immigration front. So you're looking at this and going, okay, so if this move, which is deeply hurtful to a lot of people, a lot of faithful, that, right, they even heard about it because, well, that aspect, because it's making the rounds on the news too. You're going, so what's your point? I understand what you're saying, but that's almost too simple of an answer that they're so oblivious and so dug in. It's more like they're trying to just poke people to react violently so they have an excuse.
and that's possible too. I mean, that's definitely possible that they're trying to
'Cause Even
antagonize.
with even with the illegals, the majority of those coming from Central America and South America are Catholic.
Yeah,
I mean, whether you believe it's not born again Christian or that kind of concept, but they do believe in Christ. They do honor the Easter. They do honor Good Friday. They do honor Ascension Day. They do honor resurrection, etc. It's like what? Anyways, so it was just amazing to me, and I really wanted to know. I would love to know how many pulpits actually spoke about this throughout the country. So, anyways,
yeah. No, it very 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 interesting on their end. Like you said, that they have to know that like you said, pissing off a huge portion of the country. The mindset behind it, we could debate all day
yeah.
long. These people are absolute psychopaths. So I don't know if we
Even
can.
Becerra, who and Biden claims to be Catholic, Pelosi claims to be Catholic. So even if they're not practicing, even though they're not really devout, or they devote themselves to the dark side, they know the dates.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like they don't know the dates.
100%. Well, let's get drunk Pinata in here. Pinata, how you doing today, man?
Oh, I'm just, I don't know. However I answer, people are going to assume it's the opposite.
because of April Fool's Day.
Yeah, no, I know. I wonder how many followers I lost today because I said that Keith Olbermann is a sane person. Let's see. I'm going to change my name from thinking logically to reacting emotionally. And then, and I said,
That's
I've been
sweet.
thinking, I've been thinking MSNBC actually has some good takeaways and mostly tells the truth. But I'm assuming any other day of an April Fool's Day, people would think I've been conning people or something. I half think that that's why Rumble doesn't or is hiding me because they think they think I'm a lefty because I'm just showing left news all the and I don't know if they know that I'm commenting and making fun of it. I don't know. Let's see. I got this for you. The two dumbest people currently in America. How about that? Or how about the two dumbest people on that are being used by the left? How about that? That's because there's a lot of people.
Did,
Even that's too wide. Um,
did you
okay,
see
it's Michael
Bongini's
Cohen and
brackets?
it's Michael Cohen and Lev Parnas, two retarded idiots. Okay, here you go. This is the type of they had I watched it, so you don't have to. This is the best line, and it's absolutely freaking
Oh my
delusional. These
God,
people have
together?
lost, yes, they've
Together?
lost their collective minds, and it's very clear that Lev Parnas was turned. He's Ukrainian. So he is his. It doesn't really have to be much more than that. You've seen the way that it's like Venman or some of these other people. Yes, they can be involved. They
You
can
have
be
to call
flipped.
him
They can.
Lieutenant Colonel?
Money, whatever. But I think we've seen the way these people can turn, especially when any country is involved. You think about Israel, Gaza, all that kind of. You've seen the way people can flip a switch and completely, based upon conflict, right? So this guy's former Ukrainian, and I think that's kind of why he was palling around with Giuliani because he essentially could be an interpreter for them. So he's saying that everything that Joe Biden and Hunter Biden ever did was all Russian disinformation, meaning that they went into business with Burisma because of Russian disinformation. They made deals with China with the CCP energy firm because of Russian disinformation. I mean, I'm saying he said everything that Biden supposedly did was Russian disinformation. So he's saying that, but you get what he's saying. He's saying that, well, none of it was true. None of it ever happened. No, it did. We have documents of it. So meaning he must think that this inanimate thing called Russian collusion forced the Bidens to take these actions by some sort of coercion or whatever. Anyway, then it comes to the point where, hey, you know what is Trump just working with Vladimir Putin at this point?
Let me ask you this then. Did Rudy and Trump or anyone else that you may know in that orbit pay to have stories created by Russian operatives, or were these stories just volunteered because that's what Putin wanted?
They didn't have to pay for it because they were all in the same program. So a lot of people also don't realize, and this is important for the public to know, Michael, is this story about Joe Biden and corrupted came out in like 2014, 2015. Before even that, it was used as Russian propaganda back then. They were using it and pushing it in Ukraine to mess up Ukraine's relationship with America, even before Trump was even going into president. And then it got debunked. It got thrown out. They proved that it was nothing, and it died until Trump came back into office, until Giuliani met with Victor Shokin and had us get him and say that relive that story. And once he opened it back up, an old conspiracy theory, that's when they all came out of the woodworks and started pushing through every corner. And we haven't seen the rest of it. I promise you, Michael. We got 6 months before the elections. We're still going to see a lot of Russian interference because for Vladimir Putin, this is do or die.
Yeah.
I mean, because if Trump loses, he loses because Ukraine will succeed and destroy Russia. So he needs Trump more than anything because he understands, like Viktor Orban said, Trump's not going to give Ukraine any more funding. I mean, I'm laughing, but it's just so crazy that we're talking about these things and they're so true. And people still believe that somehow he could come into office and make a difference.
So now
that he could somehow come in.
And they go on to
Wait
talk.
a minute. There's a phone call of Biden. Forget the CFR video. There's a phone call of Biden
those
talking.
are all fake. According to him, those are all fake.
Yeah, they're all fake. How? They're produced.
No,
They
no,
were
no.
produced. Wait.
I'm not saying he's a skilled liar. I'm saying that's what he's saying. He says that everything that Bob Alinsky had, everything that's been documented and recorded, is all Russian disinformation. I'm not saying it makes sense. I'm saying that is what he says and said for an entire hour with Michael Cohen. sorry, Tim. But the TN, I played that one in particular because that 2014, 2015 time period should be very familiar. It was when the White House was trying to cover up through the press secretary because Victoria Nuland was bent out of shape because the Bidens were messing up their color revolution.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was just insane
Don't
stuff.
believe your own eyes and ears. It's all Russian disinformation.
What I was trying to say is, don't believe the own Ukrainians that published the audio of the phone call, or the Ukrainian prosecutors that basically were prosecuting Biden, Joe Biden, not Hunter Biden. So those are Russians as well.
Yep.
I wasn't saying that you were. I wasn't saying that you were saying that he was truthful.
Yeah.
I'm saying all the stuff that whatever they say about. What cracks me up is that we also have evidence that the whole thing that was paid for by Hillary, the propaganda, but nonetheless, the stuff that was published by the Ukrainians, how does he answer that even?
He said that it was taken out of context and that these people actually said that Shokin actually said there was no corruption, that there wasn't a crime. Well, the problem was that he got pulled off before he can fully invest.
No. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking after Shokin.
No, all of it. He says basically he just gaslights it and says that all these people who were involved with this, it was all above board. That they formed this anti-corruption group, and that it was all for. Like I said, like the guy, he's dumb as a box of rocks. So it's really hard to paraphrase what he said because he said nothing. It was all word salad. He just literally just kept repeating that it's all untrue. What my version is true, but he never says what his version is or what these people specifically said. He talked in broad generalities because he has to, because he's lying.
But the Ukrainians did a press conference. The prosecution did a press conference. The video is out there with the translation. It's incredible that they would have the balls to, how many people are watching it, but they would have the balls to even come out and basically say it's all Russian when the Ukrainians are saying it.
Yeah, no, it's that bad, Tian. They are literally just saying that it's all lies, even though there's all this evidence that it's where they're at. They can no longer try to obfuscate it and try to. I mean, I guess, this is Midas touch. These people are gone mentally. I mean, you're talking about your 4 to 6%. These people are all of that, 90% of that. The people that believe that this shit, it's insane. But yeah, they're really just at full blown reality denial and just saying that the sky is green when it's below. That's where they're at.
It's amazing the way they can get people to shut off just by
using hatred.
Russia. All you have to do is say Russia and whatever, and the second Russia comes out of their mouths, it's like they can get away with anything because they've programmed their viewers so much to have such a visceral reaction to Russia or Putin or anything like that. So it's like you say Russian disinformation, and then it's just like you could blame the world, any ridiculousness, regardless of what's come out, what evidence is right there in your face, and their people will eat it all up. And they know it. They know they've created that trigger with a lot of their audience. So as long as they use those Russia colored lenses to frame whatever they want to frame, they're going to at least pull along a portion, if not a large majority, of that wacko TDS far gone group. It's all they have. It's like fascist, Nazi, autocrat, and then Russia. It's like these are their words.
Yeah, sorry, Tian, about mowing you over a few times. I got really animated during my show today, so I'm just I got some super high energy. So my apologies.
We'll have a couples therapy session after the show and make sure everything's all smoothed over. But first, we have to take care of.
Thoughts have rocks in them.
What's that again? What did you say?
I said my socks have rocks in them.
All right, let me take care of our sponsors, and we'll continue on with more here. First sponsor is our friends at Earth Garden Botanicals. We love Earth Garden Botanicals. We love Jolene, who runs this company up in Montana. She's an herbalist, a health coach, a total badass patriot. She makes amazing wellness products. Her CBD oil products, her CBD tinctures are amazing. They taste phenomenal. Orange ginger, bergamot, huckleberry, cinnamon bliss, peppermint, cherry, even the unflavored taste amazing because all of the ingredients are organic and locally grown on small Montana farms, which is super cool. They have CBD oil for pets, Delta 8 R&R nighttime gummies, and check out the Arnica salve as well. It's a topical cream for your sore joints and muscles. You can get that with or without CBD infused. Got the white pine needle tea. It's a concentrate version of the pine needle extract, good for detoxing the body. If you need a boost for your immune system, you feel a cold coming on, check out the elderberry tonic. You're stuffed up from allergy season, you can't breathe through your nose, clear your sinuses with some fire cider. I mentioned that sunshine and pine needle tea for all you tea drinkers out there. There's a handful of different tea blends to choose from, so I recommend you go take a look at those. And of course, the critter juice, keeping the insects and mosquitoes off you this summer, incredibly effective. All natural insect repellent, smells good. It doesn't feel oily and gross on your skin. Probably my favorite product Jolene makes, because it works so fantastically. I really love all these products, guys. It's an amazing company run by amazing people. Promo code 412 gets you 10% off your order. So go to earthgardenbotanicals.com and load up a cart today. And then also we have our friends at, here we go, Integral Networks, integralnetworks.com. They are a third-party IT provider located out in the Northwest. They serve the entire United States. They do an amazing job helping businesses of all sizes save time, effort, and money on their IT systems. They do that with a range of different services like cybersecurity, managed IT, data backup and recovery, break and fix solutions. If you need help installing complex devices like Cisco devices, they can certainly help with that as well. That's not an easy thing to do. So they could definitely walk you through that. And they have the Integral Secure Workspace, which is super neat. Basically allowing you to set up a virtual work environment, a virtual desktop for your users on an Integral Secure server. That way your users will come in and access their work remotely rather than doing it locally on their own machines, which provides you with two major advantages. One, you get to keep all of their applications and software on the proper versions and manage that centrally. Also, your company data never has to leave the secure server since the users are just logging in rather than carrying the information around on their own machines. Everything stays nice and safe. So it's integralnetworks.com. The number is 916-713-5698 if you want to call them, or just go to integralnetworks.com, drop them a line, let them know you heard about them here on 412 Productions. So those are our amazing sponsors for today. Please go and support them. And I appreciate all you guys so much supporting this channel. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, please hit that red pill button, smash that thing for me. Also, repost the show if you haven't already done that as well. Share the link far and wide. And yeah, I appreciate you guys all continuing to support what we do here. Esther G13 says, I want to hear Integrals. Forget about it. We'll play maybe next week. We'll play the video. I get such mixed reactions. Sometimes when I play it, some people love it and they find it hilarious. Floyd always drops a ball slapping. Oh, he just dropped one right there, a ball slapping cookie. Other people are very, very turned off by the somewhat abrasive audio on the video. I love it personally, and it saves my vocal cords a bit because I can just play the video rather than talk. But we'll switch it up. We'll go back and forth. Anyway, let's jump into first news story I have here today, and it involves our favorite district attorney, Fani Willis, who met with Kamala Harris before Trump indictment, according to attorney. So a lawyer for a Trump co-defendant in Fulton County, Georgia, alleged that District Attorney Fani Willis met with Vice President Kamala Harris before she indicted Former President Donald Trump last year, the claim was made during a Georgia State Senate hearing that is probing claims that Ms. Willis had an inappropriate relationship with her special counsel, Nathan Wade, and allegedly improperly benefited from the arrangement. About 2 months ago, co-defendant Michael Roman's lawyer, Ashley Merchant, disclosed the Wade-Willis relationship in a court filing. The court motions and court hearings both Ms. Willis and Mr. Wade confirmed the relationship, but said there was no financial benefit. They also disputed allegations that the relationship started before 2022 or after Mr. Wade was hired by the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. Ms. Merchant on Wednesday showed a Georgia Senate Committee White House records that showed Ms. Willis had a meeting there on February 28th, 2023, a month or months before she handed down indictments in August of that year. According to a live feed of the hearing, the mayor of Atlanta, Andre Dickens, she claimed, was also at the meeting. Quote, I did in open records for the White House access, the lawyer said, adding that we have records that Ms. Willis and the mayor of Atlanta at a meeting with the vice president or Ms. Harris. The White House record appeared to show that district attorney had a meeting with V. POTUS on the side lawn tent on February 28th of last year at 4:50 p.m. Eastern time. But my understanding that it's highly regulated who can access the White House, and you have to apply in person or apply ahead of time, Ms. Merchant added, noting that the White House gives a person a time to be inside the premises and when a person has to leave. They track you, she said, adding that they keep records of visits. When asked whether V. POTUS refers to Ms. Harris, the lawyer responded, yes, it was. Ms. Merchant later said there has been no explanation about why Ms. Willis was meeting with the vice president. The Epoch Times contacted both Ms. Willis's office and the White House for comment on Wednesday. The Fulton County District Attorney has not yet commented on allegations that she held meetings at the White House. In court, Judge Scott McAfee said that he would rule within the next 2 weeks on whether to remove Ms. Willis from the case over the relationship, which we found out. How old is this article? I could have swore this popped up. This is from 311. How did this get into my?
And it's not about the relationship.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
so
not
sorry.
anymore. Now it's about that they lie to the court.
Yeah,
Well, and now right there, she perjured herself because she said she'd never been to the White House. Never. Not, she couldn't recall. She'd never been to the White House.
I'm sorry, guys. I thought this was a newer article. When I was doing my show prep, this popped up on my Epoch feed, which normally is in chronological order. So I'm very confused as to how this slipped in there, being updated 20 days ago, over 20 days ago. So I apologize.
Maybe there was an update in the article.
That says updated 311. So unless it got updated again, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened there. Either way, it shows the coordination too between the White House and the district attorney's office in Georgia.
I'm sure they were just talking about grandchildren and golf.
Yeah, yoga or some shit.
Yoga and the wedding.
Sorry about that, guys. All right.
I'm still baffled, even though it's an older article. I'm still baffled in the aspect that that McAfee didn't address the perjury because she perjured herself. Hopefully the Senate group will do that. But she did perjure. I mean, she's clear. She was vehement about not being at the White House.
Let me ask you.
She specifically said, Wade was in Washington, and I've been to Washington. I have a lot of friends there, but we've never been there at the same time, and I've never been to the White House. That's were her testimony.
Yeah. So Tien, because I don't fully understand all the law stuff. You know, I'm not a law fag, as they say. What can a judge do about that? Like, just hold her in contempt of court for perjuring herself? Because I thought the judge said, you know, to take any other ethics complaints to like the bar or the board or whatever for any kind of like discipline. Like, what could Judge McAfee do catching somebody in a lie? Like, if someone did perjure themselves in his court, I'm guessing hold him in contempt of.
Yeah, at minimum in contempt of his court. And he could have done a referral to the
The judge can do the referral. I
Yeah,
would
he can do the referral both to the bar as well as the county, because he is a judge in that county. The other aspect is that I don't think he could have removed her for perjuring herself because it was not necessarily related to the case. It was perjuring herself in her testimony in front of him, right? So that was a different story. But perjury for a DA, that's big deal. That is a big deal. I don't understand why that hasn't been addressed at all. Even though that article's from the 11th, how, and we've had the ruling for McAfee. I don't understand it. That part I don't understand. Hopefully it's being addressed by the Senate, but I don't know. I mean,
it is kind of wild when it's so
in your face.
blatant, right? Yeah, it's
I
so
mean,
brazen
it's
and blatant.
you can argue even James. Although I'm not, you could play devil's advocate with James and the ways that she came up with the $18 million for as ludicrous as it is. But you can argue the point that she used the tax records to claim that Mar-a-Lago was $18 million, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. This is not even close to the same. This is flat out perjury. She flat out said, "I've never been to the White House."
Yeah, yeah, it's you're right. It's a flat out lie.
Yeah.
And again, this wasn't like a closed courtroom or like somewhere like this happened in front of a large
And
audience. This was streamed
correct.
on it's and
Correct.
this is why people don't have faith in our institutions, don't have faith in our system of justice, don't have faith that there's everyone's equal under the law, because we see this. We
Yep.
see how certain people get treated, and then you see blatant laws, blatant rules broken by people like Fannie Willis with no repercussions whatsoever. Cowardly judges, unwilling to do the right thing. You have absolutely, like, the bar is not stepping in. The system isn't protecting itself against these rogue actors. It's protecting the rogue actors at the expense of the perceived legitimacy of the very system they operate within. And
Then you
it's
have lawyers like Merchant that is basically making them look bad because it casts a shadow across the entire industry, so to speak, right? The lawyers as well as the judiciary. The thing that gets me is that it's her hubris that got her, because she was, she had her, she got her fanny in a bunch, and he got her, because of her attitude. You saw the attitude when she was testifying, and I think that got her. That she never expected, or she was just too freaking stupid to know that there would be records at the White House. Or maybe she was counting on those records being removed. I don't know. But not likely, because those records are kept by Secret Service and stuff. But
or maybe she knows that she's on a conquest after Donald Trump, and knows that the system wants them to get Trump, and that they're not going to do harm to her while she's working to protect the system from Trump.
yeah.
I feel like that hubris comes from knowing that her enemy is also the enemy of those that would hold her accountable. So it's like,
Yeah.
you see it in the
It's
way.
just incredible. It's just incredible because she's on video. I mean, she's flat out on video.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. It's absolutely
And it's not a candid video somewhere on the street catching her off guard. It's freaking sitting on the witness chair in the courtroom.
She knows what she's going to be asked. It's not like there was any surprises in that testimony or in that line of questioning.
No.
But yeah, a shit attitude.
I don't know if she knew that they had the records, though. I don't know if she knew they had the records. Because remember, all they did is say that, "Have you ever been to the White House?" They never pursued it. It was when they went to the Senate is when they showed the records, the White House. Now, I don't know if they had them at the time, because who knows when they answered the FOIA, right? But and then being asked if V. POTUS meant the vice president. Like, that acronym is used for a lot of different things.
I'd love to see them try to spin that one. Unreal. I meant to do this first, actually. But Trump had a response to this whole day of trans recognition or transgender day of visibility. So President Joe Biden declared March 31st, 2024, which falls on Easter Sunday, as Transgender Day of Visibility, sparking uproar among conservatives and scathing criticisms from former President Donald Trump, who demanded that the president apologize to millions of Christians in the United States. President Biden said in the March 29th proclamation that his administration wanted to send a message that transgender people are part of American society, while boasting of appointing transgender individuals to leadership positions in his administration and ending a ban that prohibited them from serving openly in the military. He also touted his administration's efforts to make public services more accessible for transgender Americans, including making official documents like passports more inclusive by including X as the gender marker. I mean, unbelievable. President Biden also urged Congress to pass the Equality Act in order to codify civil rights protections for all LGBT and transgender Americans, while officially declaring this coming Easter Sunday as Transgender Day of Visibility. The move sparked an outpouring of criticism among conservatives, including from the Trump campaign, which also objected to the White House's instructions for an Easter egg art design competition for children that banned submissions with religious symbols or overtly religious themes. Quote, "It's appalling and insulting that Joe Biden's White House prohibited children from submitting religious egg designs for their Easter art event and formally proclaimed Easter Sunday as Trans Day of Visibility," the Trump campaign spokeswoman Carolyn Leavitt said in a statement. "Sadly, these are just two more examples of the Biden administration year-long assault on the Christian faith. We call on Joe Biden's failing campaign and White House to issue an apology to the millions of Catholics and Christians across America who believe tomorrow is for one celebration only, the resurrection of Jesus Christ," she added. The White House did not respond to a request for comment. I'll leave that there, but I
Glad
did
they
want to
mentioned Catholics at the end, but I'm glad they did. Not because I have an affinity, it's because Joe claims to be Catholic. That's why.
Yeah. I'll actually read a bit more of this. Oh, good, Tian.
No, I just nothing.
Yeah, so much of the criticism of the president's proclamation centered on the fact that the March 31st, 2024 falls on Easter Sunday, which is one of the most important Christian religious holidays. Quote, "Easter Sunday is being replaced," replaced actor and producer Kevin Sorbo, who has 1.9 followers on X, said in the post, "Our Catholic president banned religious imagery from the White House and is now calling Easter Sunday Transgender Day of Visibility. Tyrants, all of them," added Sorbo, whose posts on the platform are often critical of the Biden administration policies and of far left ideas and proposals more generally. Harmy K. Dillon, a lawyer whose focus includes First Amendment rights and election law matters, took to X to share a critical reaction to President Biden's decision to shroud Easter Sunday with his administration's transgender agenda. Quote, "Isn't every day at the Biden White House Transgender Day of Visibility," wrote Ms. Dillon, who also serves as vice president of the Republican National Lawyers Association. "To deliberately insult Christians on this holy weekend is gross and evil," she added. Michigan State Rep Joshua Shriver, a Republican, also took a dim view of the proclamation. "Contrary to Joe Biden, tomorrow isn't Transgender Day of Visibility in Michigan," he wrote in a post on X. "We will not celebrate sexual deviancy and self-mutilation. Tomorrow is Easter Sunday," he continued. "We will be celebrating the resurrection of our King Jesus Christ, who died and rose from the dead to give us all an opportunity to repent from our sins and believe in him. Where's the empathy for Christians on our most important day of remembrance?" he added. And amid backlash to the president's proclamation, some media outlets ran fact checks clarifying that President Biden's declaration of this coming Easter Sunday as Transgender Day of Visibility seems to be a coincidence because March 31st happens to fall on Easter Sunday this year, but it doesn't always. Indeed, President Biden issued similar proclamations the last 3 years, with March 31st falling on a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, respectively, in those years. But to Tien's point that he made earlier, if you weren't here at the start of the show when we originally brought this up, he made the proclamation on Good Friday, which was definitely a shot at Christians and Catholics. He made the proclamation on Good Friday. He could have done it any other day this past week or any day leading up to that, but he chose Good Friday to do it, which I think, yeah, and you're 100% right that was a jab at the Christian and Catholic community.
And they knew the excuse would be coming.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because it's true. I mean, it is true that it's, whether you call it coincidence or not, it's true that the dates aligned this cycle. But it's pretty darn interesting to me that not only that the first one was 25 years ago in 2009, right? So kind of aligns with 24, right? 24 years. And on top of that, like I said, the Good Friday, there was no accident. He could have done it on the 28th, right? And then he could have skated on the excuse of the coincidence. But most people won't even correlate the 29th because they won't go to the White House website, the briefing room, and look at the proclamation itself. It's right on top, March 29. It doesn't say Good Friday, but it says March 29. And of course, they changed the White House logo to include the Easter Bunny. So I don't know. To me, there's no excuse, even though it may be redundant from or the intersection of the dates this year. But with all the other stuff that they've been doing, with all the other stuff like LGBT rights codified, they have the same rights that everybody else does. There's the sexual preference that believe. I shouldn't speak out of turn, but I believe sexual preference is already in the things you cannot discriminate against, along with sex, gender, gender or race or any of those things. So I don't, give them an inch, they'll take a mile. And when you have the whole government on full force coming out, full force, Becerra, head of HHS, you have others coming out and doing the statements. Sorry, this was no accident.
I tend to agree with you, TN, 100%.
And due diligence asks, how much do I think it'll hurt them? That's a hard question because at this stage of the game, why Christians and or Catholics, I hate to say it and or because they're all Christians, they just have different, because it's like saying Lutheran or Protestant or etc., right? Versus born again. Or why any of these people would support Biden, because he's been an all-out attack across the board, particularly Catholics. He is the antithesis of what Catholicism is about, right? Let alone Christianity. So I don't know. I don't know what the impact would be because I'm surprised that there are supportive. I'm hoping, and maybe there will be a significant enough impact that will compensate for those who will follow the rally cry. Oh, look, he's for us. I'm gay. He's for us. I'm trans. He's for us.
I think that maybe part of the mindset, or maybe why they feel it won't hurt them so bad, is the amount of time between now and the election. Like, it might create some short-term backlash, but let's be honest, a lot of people have a goldfish memory, and they probably feel confident, through their cronies in the media and whatnot, to be able to stir up some other controversy or story or basically narrative reset that by the time November comes around, no one's thinking about how Joe Biden handled Easter or Transgender Day or whatever. I feel like when we're 7 months out now, man, time flies. I feel like the number of months, just every time I sit here, just like drops like every day. But anyway, we're 7 months out, and I feel like they just have confidence that they have enough control of like I said, the media and the narrative, or at least for the kind of sideline watchers of all this that are just kind of mildly perusing headlines and don't get too into it, that there'll be enough other crap happening between now and when it matters, that this will be long forgotten. That's kind of what I get from it anyway.
And people should not confuse the Vatican and the Pope, because you have Carlo Vigano out there, very outspoken, and he's also Catholic. So you can't confuse Catholics as individuals that practice and that which the Pope or the Vatican leadership. You can't correlate the two. You can't equate the two. Yes, there will be some people that will follow what the Pope says, absolutely, but you cannot deal with across the board aspects of casting such a wide net between people that are Catholics and the Pope. Just can't, shouldn't.
Yeah, agreed. All right. 4:49, kind of an awkward time here to have a bunch of Trump legal stuff I want to get into, but I don't want to break that up across our break. Let me find something that we could do kind of quickly here. Kill a few minutes, and then we'll here's some nonsense. I'll just throw this in there just as a quick hitter before we go exclusively to pill.net. And again, those of you guys watching on Rumble, DLive, Cloud Hub, Odyssey, please find us over on Twitter and YouTube also. Please find us over on pill.net at 412 Productions for the second half of the show. We will be going there exclusively, shutting down all these other platforms in about 5 minutes. So start looking for those links now. If you're on Rumble, it's in the description beneath the stream. So make it real easy on you guys. Just got to click that link. It'll bring you right on into the show. All right. 8 states now say complete ban on gas-powered new car sales coming. This is insanity. The war on gas-powered vehicles continues while the White House recently released new rules to phase out gas-powered vehicles by 2032. Several states have gone further. 8 states plan to completely ban the sale of new gas-powered cars by 2035. The UK's Daily Mail reported. Who's leading the charge, you might ask? Why, it's California, of course. They're joined by Rhode Island, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, and Washington, D.C. is also committed to the ban, according
All
to
the booming economies.
Yeah, look at this list: New Jersey,
Exactly.
Massachusetts.
All the booming economies.
Yeah, it's so funny. I mean, there's not a single red state in that entire
And
mix.
further implode. 2033, they're all going to be underwater. They forgot about climate change. That meant literally.
If you live in one of these states, you won't be forced to take your gas powered car off the road. You could still buy these automobiles used in secondhand. But what does this mean for consumers in those states? Electric vehicles already cost more to buy than gas powered vehicles. And while the argument has repeatedly been made that charging can save consumers money over time, there are countless stories of charging nightmares, from homes catching fire to broken charging stations to long charging times to power grids unable to support the charging infrastructure. All of the above issues cost consumers more money and time, not to mention how much replacing a battery in an EV can cost. Also, when looking at the manufacturing of these vehicles, the mining to produce the lithium-ion batteries, the factory production of the vehicles, pollution still exists and still doesn't seem to reduce much of anything. In fact, per earth.org, almost 4 tons of CO2 are released during the production process of a single electric car. In order to break even, the vehicle must be used for at least 8 years to offset the initial emissions by 0.5 tons of prevented emissions annually. But despite all these issues, the left keeps pressing on full steam. So that's so funny. You have to use it for 8 years. You know what's hilarious about that?
People cycle their cars out before that.
I was gonna say, I don't think those batteries last more than 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, some of them last longer. But the interesting part is when reading this, what are they going to do with with hybrids? They're gas powered. So
Yeah,
are they going to prohibit? Are they prohibiting, full gasoline or all gasoline? Because if that's the case, they've just prohibited hybrid. And if you watch any of the advertisement most of them are advertising hybrids because the EVs aren't selling.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if that's what you want to do, I feel like a hybrid is probably the best way to go
Yeah.
because it at
There's
least
even a new company. There's a new company I saw an ad for. It was called Genesis. Maybe it's not new. I just happened to see the ad. Their entire fleet is plug-in hybrids.
yeah. Rasta says electric
People are
cars
fucking
already
stupid, man. They're just stupid.
are stupid.
And
Electric cars,
so in New Jersey, right? New Jersey, particularly if you live in the western side of New Jersey, you just hop on right over to Pennsylvania and buy one. What are they going to do next? Prohibit you buying out of state?
probably.
No, they can't do that. They do that. That goes flat out against the Interstate Commerce Clause. Flat out.
Yeah. I mean, I could see some kind of punitive action. What they would try to do, I don't.
California did that at one point before all the emissions were the same. California, if you bought a car out of state, you were taxed higher when you brought it into register because it wasn't meeting California emission control standards. Then all the states, because that happened to me, not that I had to pay, I had to prove that my car was that. And the really silly part is it was a car I bought in California and it was registered in New Jersey when I lived in New Jersey, and I was moving back to California, so I had to register back in California, and they hit me up for an inspection to make sure it was emissions possible. And so like the freaking car was bought here, right? But anyways, nonetheless, but they were doing that for a while until all the emission standards went the same across the nation. So they can do things like that, but to prohibit purchase out of state because my state has, and I'm using New Jersey as the example, has this moratorium on gasoline powered vehicles, that would be a federal lawsuit like in no time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, it is time to make the switch over to pilled.net. So please, again, hop on over to the comfy bunker for the second half of the show. I'm going to play a quick video just give you guys a chance to make it on over there. Otherwise, we'll have to catch you guys on the next one. But we'll be back in 1 minute to officially say goodbye to the other platforms, and then we'll read all the gold pill chats that have come in. Thank you guys, everyone who's been supporting the show so far. Now's a great time to get your gold pills in, because I am going to read everything popping up here in about 2 minutes, and then we'll continue on with the second half of the show. Do a bunch of updates on some legal stuff, watch some media reaction. Nicole Wallace had a temper tantrum, which is kind of fun to watch, so we'll check that out as well. And yeah, we'll continue on with this Monday, April 1st, 2024 broadcast. See you guys in just a moment.
Pill.net is proud to host 412 Productions, exclusively on the true home of free speech. To continue watching the show, we are here to help you over to Pilled. If you're new to the platform, just click on the welcome link provided.
By the way, 218.
It will then automatically walk you through signing up for your free account. If you already have a Pill.net account, follow the link provided directing you straight to 412 Productions channel. We are excited to have you join the Pilled family, and if you have any questions at all, please email support@Pill.net. Enjoy the rest of 412 Productions on Pill.net. Free speech lives here.
All right, we are back, and want to say a big thank you to everybody out there who made the jump over to pilled.net. Those of you who aren't going to be joining us for the second half, no hard feelings, but hope you guys have an awesome rest of your Monday. We will be back at 4 p.m. tomorrow for an installment of Taco Tuesday. So I look forward to taking your calls and playing some music, hanging out tomorrow afternoon. And yeah, I think Wednesday we'll have Daddy Dragon on. That should be fun. Thursday's taking it back. And then Friday we'll wrap up the week with the OG crew. Maybe get the Garrisons to pop in, and I'll reach out to them and see if they're available. But that is it for now. So again, pop on over to pill.net and join us for the second half of the show. Otherwise, have a great Monday night, everybody.